Okay, 5, 2, 1. Hello, this is Guy Henderson reporting for CGTN. We are currently standing in the Fergana Valley in the east of Uzbekistan, east of the capital Tashkent, and we are standing in an old excavation site, an archaeological site, which I'm told has 15 layers down the wall behind me, 15 different layers of different civilizations from over a few thousand years. And you may be able to see, as we walk over, excavation taking place. A group of archaeologists, some of whom are from Uzbekistan, and one of whom is from China, and we'll be speaking to her in a minute about the significance of this site. This particular site is called Tashkent. It is part of, or was part of, the ancient kingdom of Dayuan, and what's interesting and very significant about this whole region, of which this is a small part, is that Caucasians came here before Christ was born in around 1329 BC. Alexander the Great came here, and this is seen, this area, as one of the areas where East and West very first came into contact, and that sort of conversation, that interaction, essentially led to the establishment and development of the ancient Silk Road between China and Europe and around the world. So I'm going to walk you around now, and we're going to talk to some of the people involved in this project about its significance, about some of the things that they are excavating here, which are seen as historically quite significant. So let me start with, this is Lin Lingmei. Lin Lingmei is part of the excavation team here. She has been here for several months. And the first thing I should ask you, Lin Lingmei, is how have you come to the Fergana Valley from China?
Yes, actually in the past I was always hoping to do some excavation in Central Asia, and finally I got that chance. And at a conference in China, in Peking, and I met some professor who work in archaeological institute in Uzbekistan, and he passionately invited me, and then of course I was very hoping to come, and then I'm here.
Why are you so interested in this area?
Because this area is an area very important for the East and Western, yes, culture and material communication. Yes, actually I think from side we can see this kind of connection, and now I think I'm today's exam to show this kind of connection between China and Central Asia.
So, perhaps you could just talk us through, Lin Mei,
Okay.
what these workers are up to here. What's being discovered and excavated here?
Yes. Now I and my colleague, we are excavating. We are opening some new rooms. Yes, because in the past we opened that water pipe, for the city, and then we find these new rooms, and as you see, like all the rooms are at the same layer, but actually they're not. They are from very different period.
So what period are we looking at here?
And according to the brick, if the brick is very is thin and is well made, it should be in like 10th century AD, okay. In Samani period, right? And then the brick there, that room, and you can see the brick is relatively raw, mm-hmm. and different shape, and the time should be later, a little bit later, and it's Kahani period.
Okay. Okay. It must be very delicate work. I imagine there is a lot of very fragile and delicate artifacts that you discover here.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that is fascinating. And you were saying also there's water pipes down here that were once discovered. What's the significance of that? A big population area. Is that the suggestion?
Yes. And the water. Yes, the water system. I mean, the water system and also the irrigation system has always been very important for Central Asia, where people need to live and they need the water to do the farming, and especially for such a large city, Asian city, the water system is very important. But this water pipe is not for the irrigation system. It's for some drinkable water, because even now the water from this area is very salty. It's not drinkable, and people in the ancient time they know that, and they need to build some pipe to get water from faraway mountains, and that's very it's drinkable, the water. So you see this big city underground there, all this city underground there, such kind of water pipe is a huge construction. Yes. Also you see there we got some small pipe, and that's not for drinkable water, it's for some, yes, also the for some water, like how to say, the water is not clear water.
Dirty
some
water.
housing, yes,
Okay.
for dirty
Okay.
water.
Okay.
All this city underground you can find that kind of.
Okay.
So this city is the construction is very complicated.
Very complicated.
So we got a lot of work to do to get better understanding.
Okay. Lin Mei, thank you very much. I'm going to clamber very gently over these excavations, and that's okay. I can climb over this wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So as I'm walking over, we've got our next interviewee in a second. I'll just explain to you the word Dayuan. The word Dayuan means great area surrounded by mountains. And this was seen as a sort of natural defence for this entire region. And before we introduce our next guest, which I will do in a minute, just to give you an idea of what's surrounding us. You know, under much of this, what was originally a citadel, there will, I'm sure, still be, evidence of civilization going deep under the ground. 15 layers, we were saying. Much of it has not been excavated yet, and in fact I'm told that one of the great mysteries that remains about this area is where the capital of this ancient kingdom actually lies. A question that's still unanswered, a question that perhaps one day these archaeologists might be able to find out, and you might even be able to see those natural defences. It's a beautiful surrounding area, mountains on three sides that would have given natural defences to this entire region of the Fergana Valley. Now, you've probably just seen there our next guest, who I will now introduce, and we're going to speak to him through a translator, who I hope can also step in. This is the director, or one of the directors from the Archaeological Institute in the Uzbek capital Tashkent, who is going to talk us through some of the broader significance of the work taking place here and what it means for a more global audience. Through a translator, so we'll just have to sort of be patient here as we explain both sides. But firstly, sir, I understand that aside from the water pipes and the findings there, another significant discovery has been that before, 2,000 years ago, perhaps almost 2,000 years ago, there was a very high level of development of steel here. Perhaps you could tell me why that is significant.
Ana bu yerda ko'rgan mana kanalizatsiya suvlardan tashqari va 2000 eramizdan avval 2000 yillarda topilgan narsalar deyapsiz. Lekin undan tashqari mana siz aytib o'tdingiz, po'latni rivojlanishi, po'latga ishlov berishi yo'llari haqida ozgina gapirib bersangiz. Shu yerda ko'p rivojlangan ekan shu narsalar.
Albatta, bu biz turgan shahar o'sha qadimgi Farg'onaning poytaxti Axsikentning xarobalari. Bu Aleksandr Makedonskiy Farg'ona vodiysining qirg'og'i o'sha Xajentga, Aleksandr Krayniga oxiriga kelgan paytdan 70-75 yil keyin asos solingan. Butun Farg'ona vodiysining bosh poytaxti. Bu qadimda o'sha milodiy eradan oldingi 2-asrning oxirlarida Xitoy Farg'ona urushlarida ham shu shahar faoliyat ko'rsatgan. Shaharni asosan ot uchun, Farg'ona otlarini olish uchun o'zaro ola olmagandan keyin urush kelib chiqadi. Urushda Xitoyliklarni qo'li baland kelib, keyinchalik tashqi shahar olingandan keyin sulh tuzilib, Xitoyliklarga ma'lum miqdorda otlar beriladi. Keyin savdo aloqalari boshlanadi. O'zaro Buyuk Ipak yo'li gullab yashnagan davrda, o'sha milodiy eradan oldingi 1-asr, keyin milodiy eraning boshlarida bu yerda Axsikent asosiy shimoliy yo'nalishdagi Buyuk Ipak yo'lining asosiy nimalaridan, punktlaridan biri hisoblanadi. Endi bu davrda o'rta asrlarga kelib, 9-10-12 asrlarga kelib butun juda katta 400 gektardan oshiq maydonni egallagan Axsikent. Bu yerda mana shu endi Po'lat to'g'risida gapiraman.
We must just give him a chance to translate here, otherwise I think he'll get rather lost.
Ozgina tarjima qilib berdik, keyin qolganini davom ettiramiz. Okay, before the 200 century before Christ, BC, this place was close to the outer range of Alexander the Great, which is about 70 kilometers away from here. And this place was called then, 70 years after Alexander the Great came here, this place was established as the town of Axsikent, and this is we're on the citadel. And so those days, those times, there was a big war for the horses of Fergana, which were apparently of great species, and Chinese were tried many times to conquer this place and to get the breeds of horses. So finally they made it. Yeah. And now
the steel, this is what we're talking about. Two different types of sword. Yes.
O'rta asrlarda 9-12 asrlarda shaharni maydoni 400 gektardan oshiq joyda egallagan. Shu davrda shahar butun dunyoda, bu yoqda sharqda Xitoyda, g'arbda Yaqin Sharq, O'rta Yer dengizlarigacha bu yer shu eng toza po'lat ishlab chiqargan shaharlardan biri hisoblanadi. Bu yerda ikki xil po'lat olingan. Qattiq, yumshoq po'lat. Ikkovidan ham qurollar yasalgan. Shu qurollar sharqda, janubiy g'arbda shu xalifalikning markazi Damashqda sotilgan.
Okay, later in Middle Ages, this place became very much known for steel production, for processing steel, and the steel that was produced here was of two grades, soft and hard steel, and of course they produced weapons, swords and and other weapons, and these swords were sold. The swords produced here were sold in Damascus. That's how Damascus sword is known. So originally it was produced here.
Sharqda Xitoyda ham sotilgan.
And it was sold in the east of China too.
And just to end with though, why was that so significant? What is the significance of the damask sword?
Bu Damashq qilichlari deyishdan sabab u chunki birinchi Yevropalik ritsarlar kelganda, Yevropalik sayohatchilar xalifalikning markaziga kelganda, xalifalikning markazida shunday qurollar sotilgan. Shuni ko'rgan. Shuning uchun nomini Damashq qilichlari deb nom aytilgan.
Okay, the first knights or first travelers from Europe, when they came to Damascus, they found on the markets, they found those swords, which they liked very much, and they named it as Damascus swords.
Bu bu yerda yasalgan o'sha qilich po'latlarni 1650-1700 gradus haroratda eritilgan. Bu idishlar shu kalinni ma'lum sortlardan tayyorlangan. Keyin ular tog'dan xomashiyani u yerdan olib kelib, bu yerda tayyorlab, keyin o'sha maxsus idishlarga solib, pechlarda qizitilib, po'lat olingan. Po'lat olingandan keyin u po'latni keyin ustalar undan qilichlar, xanjarlar yasagan.
Okay, those days people here knew the technology to process steel, and they used vessels, special vessels that would stand up for up to the degree 1700 degrees Celsius. Yeah, and okay, they would bring raw ores of steel ores over here, process them, and then melt steel, and then from that steel they would produce swords and knives.
Briefly.
Xomashiyani nimani po'latni xomashiyasini temirni Shimoliy Farg'onadan, hozirgi Usurshona deyiladi, bu Zomin hududlaridan, ya'ni hozirgi Jizzax hududlarining tog'laridan olib kelingan bu yerga.
So the raw material for use in that steel production used to be brought from nowadays Zomin, which is in nowadays Jizzax region, back in those days part of Fergana territory. So from that long distance they would bring, that would be the north of Fergana. So the raw material would they would bring from nowadays Jizak region.
Director, I must say thank you very much. We're going to move on now and just wrap up. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, a translator. So, just to wrap up, really, an ancient and very sophisticated civilization, a civilization that was able to pipe drinking water around what would have been a very populous area, that was able to develop advanced weaponry, which was then sent to other parts and contributed to key battles that may have changed the geopolitics of this region in ancient times. One of the big mysteries, as I was saying, was where the capital city of this whole region was, something that is not yet known. What we do know, just to wrap up, as we're looking at the work that's being done here, is that the Han Dynasty tried several times to conquer and destroy this city. It was unable to do so. It survived, perhaps because of that technological advancement. It struck a deal with this city. Then we saw Genghis Khan come here as well, the ancient Mongol kingdom. He did manage to do a great deal of damage to this city, and it may have been that led to its eventual decline. All of those details are still being worked out, discovered. We even saw during the morning here one of the archaeological teams dig out a small bone, a very ancient bone, possibly several hundred or at least 1,000 years old. Those are the kind of things they're discovering here every day, which really are giving people a better impression and details, important details potentially, about all of these different civilizations that existed here and the impact and interactions that they had that, as I say, led to the development of the Silk Road, the ancient Silk Road, that of course now China is now trying to recreate, the One Belt, One Road project. So we'll leave it there. Thank you for joining us in the Fergana Valley, the most populous region of Uzbekistan, on the trail of the ancient Silk Road.